Taurus one, a clear mountain stream. We can imagine the water bubbling up out of the mountain, and it's pure, isn't it? There's a purity of the water that comes out of the mountain. And as it flows down towards its single purpose of reaching the ocean, it takes impressions of the environment which it travels through. And this is a near perfect metaphor for the journey of the soul through earthly life. It comes pure of spirit. It is spirit. It's not corrupted. It's not intentional. It just bubbles with the life force. And there are times when we can feel this, and we can certainly see it in children rather more readily than in adults. This sense of spontaneously doing whatever's next. And the stream just moves according to gravity. It's being pulled back to the ocean. And we are too. We're pulled back to the source of our being. We're pulled back to God. The reason why humanity is so fascinated by this question of whether there is a God and what God is and what God wants and all of these questions of a kind which philosophers really identify as speculative because there's no proof in their way of seeing proof. And yet the thirst we have to discover that knowledge is almost unrivaled. And that's like the pull of gravity on the stream, the pull of the ocean to be reunited with one of its offspring. So if we see ourselves as stream-like and behave in this spontaneous way, then we are in alignment with the soul. And the soul is immediate. There is no mediator between what it is and therefore how its desire nature comes out. That's what desire is. We are who we are, and that expresses as desire. Of course we want what we want because we are who we are and what we are, and so whatever we desire is an aspect of who we are. That single imperative of the stream to be what it is, and all it is the ability to return to the ocean. That's what a stream is. It's the ability to return to the ocean. And that's what we are. We're the ability to return to God. Now, we're prevented from going straight to God by all of the circumstances of our lives, the things that we consider to be obstacles and objections and arguments and different ways of being and doing things and so on. We come up against all of this, and so our path to God is not a straight one. It's interesting. If a stream was to go straight from the mountain straight to the ocean, it would be a channel. It would just be, or a canal. It would be boring, and it wouldn't be spontaneous. It wouldn't actually be spirit. Not really. Spirit has as part of its qualities the ability to do the wrong thing, as it were. It's not the wrong thing at all. It's just we're given the freedom not to go home directly to God. And that freedom to be ignorant of where God is our uniqueness. That's what enables us to become as God, godlike, creative. It's the wiggles and the bends and the reversals that makes a stream interesting. It goes fast and then it goes slow and then it turns around, and it does all sorts of really interesting things, which makes it phenomenally beautiful. And we are too. Anybody who actually is on a straight line going through life towards their purpose, that's a requirement to get there. And yet, if you get there expecting to go in a straight line, then you've kind of missed the point. It's not a straight line. It never will be, never could be. The thing is about spirit is that it has no time. There's no time frame between desire and action. And if we are in this mode of spontaneity, by just doing things that we feel like doing immediately, gets us into that mode of excitement, which is the indicator of the presence of spirit. And it takes us into risky areas. It's by no means guaranteed that by following our spontaneity we're going to be safe. Not in any immediate sense, because there are risks in life. But what the essence message is to this Sabian degree is that life is risky up to a point, and at that point, spirit is guaranteed. So whereas our life journey, how we get there, is by no means necessarily comfortable or guaranteed, the fact that we will get there is guaranteed. And we don't know in any moment how. We just don't know, because moments are all unique and we have to respond to them. Trusting in our resourcefulness is the key issue here. This is the mystery of Taurus 1. Just be resourceful. Know that you are resourceful. Trust that resourcefulness. Have faith that that resourcefulness is enough for all purposes. And then you will not have to slow down your desire nature, restrict your spontaneity. You can live it all out and be as innocent as a child for the whole of your life. This is because you trust that whatever comes up, you can deal with it. Now that faith in life itself is the path to freedom. If you don't have that faith, if you try and control your circumstances, and specifically if you try and control the future, then you surrender your freedom, because freedom and control are mutually exclusive. Those of us who build on a future to make it as stable as we can possibly make it are the ones that will be squeezed of our life force. Now, to some extent, of course, you have to guard against the future, because that's a part of living in the material world. It is dangerous, and certain things that we will not risk. We have responsibilities. If we bring a child into the world, or if we take a group or something under our wing, then we have responsibility that we have to attend to. And we have to take into account the fact that they might not be spontaneous. They might not do the right thing at the right time with the right strength and clarity of mind that we have. And so we have to guard against the future. And we have to take precautions of a certain kind. This is worldly common sense. And yet, there are those of us who can go beyond worldly common sense and just trust that if there is a need for providing security, that will be our spontaneous desire. We would just do the necessary to be secure, and that will come from our spontaneity. We will take care of ourselves within this pattern of faith. So we don't have to become unsoul-like in order to take care of ourselves. The opposite is true. We have to trust that the soul will take appropriate measures to guard against unknown dangers. It's a part of the function of life is to guard ourselves, because we put ourselves in a dangerous place when we incarnated. And so the robust skin, the shell, if you like, that protects us from the robustness of the world, that shell is a part of who we are. Astrologers would see that as Saturn, probably. And that's definitely an energy which can be enjoyed and spontaneously expressed. The key word in this particular mystery is authenticity. If we are able to trust that how we are, who we are, what we believe, what we want to do, our desire, our spontaneity, if we trust that that is an authentic expression of the self, then we will live in this soul consciousness. So this authentic self-expression has to be our safe space. In every situation where you can't really understand how to cope, what's missing is an authentic expression of who you are. So dig deep into yourself, find your soul's voice and speak it out. Be who you are. Then you're safe. Then you're free.